Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Tranquility's End. Playing on over the side of the Tyranids, we've got Top Hat. But on the other side, also with Tyranids, we've got Symbiote. Symbiote will be opening up with a couple of Spine Gaunts, a Ripper Swarm, and a couple of Reclamation Pools. Whereas Chopper is going to be opening up with a smorgasbord Spine Gaunts, a couple of Ripper Swarms, and a couple of Reclamation Pools, as well as a Brood Hive. This is very exciting. We don't often get to see double Tyranids on a 1v1 kind of scenario and situation, but this will actually give us a good opportunity to really get into the meat and potatoes of the Tyranids and really explain them, because I do believe in all mods, really, that Tyranids are a little bit misunderstood, or just regularly misunderstood, over what kind of terminology you would like to use there. So you can really, like I can actually spend some time talking about these guys. I spent about maybe half an hour before this game just double-checking on my facts, so I'm actually able to explain some stuff and whatnot. So we've got some Raveners coming out. Now these boys, a little bit bigger than your regular Spine Gaunt. Spine Gaunt's not really going to win you any kind of engagement. So yeah, you're early game capping unit, which is of course what they're going to do. Raveners are going to come out and probably do some algae. They're quite an aggressive early on unit. Now these guys can make burrow bits. Little burrowing tunnels for about 75 blue. Stick them down, and after a relatively short cooldown, they can make another one, which means that they're able to pop boys in and then move around. Kind of like an Eldar webway gate, really. And you can basically put one down here, and the one over here. There's no range limit on them. It's actually quite a useful harassment tool. We do also have a cheeky Lictor Alpha kind of chilling out down here as well. Infiltrated unit, be able to do some serious damage to some Spine Gaunts. In fact, just jumping straight in. Instantly getting a kill on that dude, but on his own, probably not going to do all that much. Generally, ideally used for killing builds and stuff. Now, fun fact, a lot of the Tyranid, in fact, actually most, if not all, in fact, no, actually it's probably most if you ignore the Khan effects, is all the Tyranid buildings, or units, sorry, are costing blue money. Oh, that was a lot of dead Spine Gaunts there, and those Raveners coming up from the deep. Yeah, the Tyranid units only really cost blue money, and their upgrades really cost green money. So you got to keep that in mind, that in the early games, essentially, you can kind of forego the reclamation pools. Just focus on your Brood Hive and getting your Spore Chimneys up, as that will cost you only green money. But to upgrade the Spore Chimneys into Tier 2, it does cost only green money. And it's about, to get them to Tier 2 Chimney mode, I think it's about 170 green. So actually quite a hefty green cost. But thankfully, the reclamation pools aren't exactly that expensive. Although we are seeing these guys. Are you next to these? Yeah, you are next to the Hive Spire. Be really careful in making sure that your reclamation pools are built next to Hive Spire. Going into Tier 2, or Tier 1/2, sorry. Doesn't take that long. But getting into Tier 2/3, it takes a long time if you've got no reclamation pools built up next to your boys. So we've got some Raveners. And actually, Symbiote. Good lord, hard to read in this game. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of early aggression stuff, so he will probably have the mainstay map control. If he is playing a bit more aggressive, he's focusing a lot on this critical location in the middle, which really, you can send some Spine Gaunts to do this. The Raveners should not be on capping duty, they should be on slaying duty. Got Lictor in the middle, just punting people in the face, left, right, and centre. And it's going to be basically this for a lot of the game, I reckon. Just insane amounts of units just been thrown, just layers of meat been slapped into each other. If you pardon that mental visual image, I'm going to see a bioplasma turret being popped up by these cheeky Ripper Swarms coming up over here. And this bioturret will actually give Symbiote a lot of space. Now, are you Symbiote over here? No, you're Chopper. So actually, Southern Tyranids, they've got this central critical location utterly and totally on lockdown. But they are sacrificing their flanks here. Which, I mean, there's pros and cons. If you get the flanks, then these two strategic points are a little bit vulnerable. But if you hold the centre, you've got more. I mean, I suppose you're closer to these bits, and you can also get your Raveners over here and tunnel them through this way. So it's all swings and roundabouts. There's weaknesses, pros and cons to capturing either side, but it does seem that Symbiote is putting a lot of money into his Tier 1s, which does mean that these guys should be able to take up. Yeah, he's already teched up into Tier 1/2, as you can tell by the long phallical symbol above these guys. Symbiote has yet to even start teching up, so that's... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you've established link. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong person. Yep. So, Southern Tyranids, they've yet to take up a Tier 2 because of all the economy that they're putting to these guys. They're not really gaining much in the way of map control at the moment, but these spine gaunts... But yeah, he's putting all his boys into one basket and moving them around as one squad. He doesn't need to necessarily do that. Doesn't need to do that at all. We are seeing some warriors over on this side, as well as a Hellfex Carnifex, which is quite a quick tech up for the Carnifexes. This is the ranged variant, according to his meaty protrusions over here. Also got the warriors. Now the warriors, for every model inside their unit, give you an extra 2 blue money. That's what the tooltip tells me. Got the bioplasma turret throwing things over here. But the Raveners are probably going to struggle a lot with taking on the warriors and the Hellfex Carnifex. Considering they're actually they're quite fragile units. Not designed for long-form combat. It's all about the hit and run for those guys. But like I said, I would say that even though they're an early tier unit, in the later stages, their tunneling ability is going to be really, really useful should they want to go into those flanking maneuvers. Hellfex Carnifex sitting around the backside. The Raveners just jumping straight in the middle. But these spine gaunts look like they've got some upgrades going on. Is that one of the little squares down there mean? I think so, maybe possibly. But it's going to seriously get them to survive a lot longer. Like I say, all that stuff costs green money exclusively. How many? Yeah, you've got a fair few reclamation pools on the go. So even the Symbiote had a lot of boys at the beginning. They got that burst damage on the go, but Tyranid Warriors, they're just going to stick around. They've got their Death Spitters, great at taking out infantry, but also their claws in close combat aren't nothing to be sniffed at neither. This blooming bioplasma turret, though, does need to be taken out ASAP. It's caused them all sorts of issues going on around here. Got some more Raveners coming in. Again, knocking these guys absolutely everywhere. But yeah, a couple of upgrades on the spine gaunts really changes how effective they are. Not necessarily in the damage dealing department, but they are starting for like a maximum of like maybe 12 people in their unit. You can upgrade them to get about 25, which is quite insane in the main brain. Or the membrane even, not the main brain, although I suppose the main brain is probably what the hive mind is. There we go. The field has been taken over. In fact, actually now, Northern Tyranid's chopper has taken this critical location, the middle one, and the one over onto that right-hand side as well. Sending some Tyranid warriors over here as well. They're going to go for some rending claws, tell them break through the spore chimneys. The Symbiote has yet to really upgrade. It's got one upgraded spore chimney down here. Got another bioplasma turret rocking on down this side, but not much going on for him. And these guys are just going to chill as far as they can, as far as way over on this side. Are in tier 2 now for these guys. Going to go for a Hive Tyrant, quite a lethal beast in close combat. Can be upgraded with some range stuff as well. And a Victory Broodlord. So commander armor on both of those guys. They should be able to stick around for a lot longer. Going to go for a Screamer Killer Carnifex. Now this is, yeah, for 100 green. I think it's one of the few Tyranid units that cost a bit of green as well. He's going to roll in. And just absolutely stride forward. Got quite powerful movement speed. Now, with all this ranged options, he could go for the Tyranid... Oh, what's it called? The bodyguard unit? I completely forget what they're called. But essentially they take reduced damage at ranged and also have really strong health regeneration when they're in close combat. So if you want to how would one say? If you want to out-sustain these guys, a couple of those Tyranid bodyguards are the way forward. But he's rather than doing that, he's just going to go for Devour, Venom Cannon, a little bit of everything on these warriors. That way they can turn their hand at anything. They won't be amazed against any one particular target, but they will be able to at least cause some issues. Also got some leaping warriors as well. Well, the Victory Broodlord, yeah, that commander armor really going to help them in these engagements. Hive Tyrant rocking on forward. He's got his fleshy bits on the front to fire in. We'll probably see this dude being upgraded with some wings and some whips and swords later on. And just by the sheer amount of elite units, kind of knock these guys back. Managing to defend the home and half. Another bioplasma turret coming over on this side. But then again, in saying that, even though he's recaptured, well, not recaptured, but he's defending this side, will take him a while to re-establish himself around these critical locations, which will give Topper a bit of time to redo some stuff. He is getting some reclamation pools out. Although a little bit of sloppy placement. Kind of want to have them all the way around your Hive Tyrant. Or your Hive Spire, even. He's now in the next... Are you in the next thing? What was that? Oh, that was just Hive expansion. Some more squad cap. With some more warriors. But a slow build-up. That's fine. Now, while things are calm, I can also explain that you've got this Hive Mind over here, yep? And on your bar down here, there'll be loads of different abilities. Now, these are actually seldom used, I find, or I see in these games, but some quite strong abilities. Generally, you've got some miasmic clouds that slow people down. You've got bombardments that can beat people up. Most of the abilities are unlocked in tier 3/4, question mark, when they get the Manipulator Hive, or Manipulator Building, which we'll probably see at some point in this game. You can also recruit units from this as well. You can basically... There's like a little button down on this side, ignore my advertisement, although I want to pay attention to the advertisement. I do have books, please do buy the books, support the channel and all that stuff. Yeah, so you can press a button down here, and you can recruit units, and then basically deep strike them wherever you fancy. So, and those units that you buy from there don't usually cost blue money, but cost more green money. So if you ever have a mass of green, like Topper does at the moment, but not enough blue, you are able to do that if you fancy. But he's just going to come over. Warriors firing away. Spore Chimney being taken down. Current economies are 212 and 126 compared to 147 and 69. Way! It's the meme number. So, very small economy at the moment, but he's got a mass of blue they could play with. Probably should really start building that second Hive Spire, as you can only build 6 reclamation pools per Hive Spire. The Tyranids really do need to get those reclamation pools on the go. We've already seen what those upgrades can do on Topper's units. Got some big booms coming down. That was a Hive Spire ability, I do believe, or Hive Mind ability even. I do believe. But that's not going to do anything for him. Spangots in the front lines, Hellfix Carnifexes, as well as a healthy amount of warriors. And bear in mind, like I say, for every one of these guys that exist, they give them extra 2 blue money. Doesn't show on this, though. So I don't know whether the tooltip is bugged or whether this is bugged, but it does not show on the doobly doodad. I think. I did test it, unless there was something wrong with my machine. I could be wrong. Such as the wicked way of mods. You can never really tell what's going on. Ripper Swarms, they're building stuff up. And I'm going to throw some bioplasma via this turret. Ripper Swarms can also be upgraded to be kind of semi-useful in close combat. There's what, they're about 50 blue from the Hive Spire. And you get a maximum of 8. The reinforcement is free. And you can deep strike them 3 at a time in anywhere. So if you ever just need like an additional... Ooh, there's some back units that are causing some issues in the range department. Just teleport some rippers in the background just to really annoy them. That's what we can do. But it's just a bit of juxtaposition at the moment. Big swarm over here. Big swarm down here. Well, actually, there's slightly less but more elite kind of swarm, I think. Not necessarily... I don't think you've really gone for that many upgrades, have you? I don't think you have. There we go. Second Hive Spire on the way. Double Hellfix Carnifexes rocking out. These guys are going to play for time. Oh, the Tyrant Guards. They're not bodyguards, they're Tyrant Guards. Fair enough. Yeah, these guys will just stay in combat all day long. No dramas whatsoever. We are seeing some spores being dropped on these guys, but they're going to ignore it. And a level 3 Spore Chimney resisting a lot of the incoming damage, actually. But big jump in from the Screamer Killer. Big roar as well. Going to scare these guys a lot, but their morale is non-existent. I assume that's what that scream does. One thing I didn't check, actually. The Hellfix Carnifex with a Death Spitter. Firing away, focusing on the Hellfix, which is actually technically an armoured vehicle, which I do like. In a lot of other games, the big Tyranid units are considered with demon armour, which I don't quite agree with. I think just having them as vehicle armour is probably a much nicer way of dealing with the damage types. Well, let's see what I mean. Like, these Tyranid guards, they're still more or less maximum health. They just sit on the front lines, they bash things, and these guys are then free to just fire away as they please. So even though that Topper had more units and more boys, superior unit composition here won him this engagement, especially with the assistance of the Hive Tyrant and the Vectoid Broodlord as well, which can just walk around and just slap people all day long. Good against infantry, vehicle and morale, if the unit card is to be believed. I love these models. I do believe that the Tyranid Guard are from Dawn of War 2, but they're just chunky. The chunky boys. Look at that forearm muscle going on. Yeah, they do no bicep curls, but they do whatever. What muscle exercise do you do to get the big forearms? I don't know. Believe it or not, being quite a spindly man. Although I do hit the gym occasionally. By occasion, I mean once every couple of days. A week. Got to keep those gains. The size is the prize. That's what they say. I mean, Lictor Alpha is jumping out of nowhere. And then just chilling out. One shot, one kill. His kill sync animation could do with a little bit of work there. He just stands there as they fall in front of him. But whatever. Like I say, mods, man. I'm just grateful that they exist, gosh darn it. Just grateful they exist. These guys are going to do absolutely sod all. As Symbiote comes forward. Opening fire on the Spore Chimneys. Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Chiru. I wonder why I pronounce it like that. It's because of... God, is that Oliver Twist? Is that film where that nanny comes along for the umbrella? I completely forget what that film's called. Mary Poppins, that's the one. I think it's Mary Poppins. I don't know. Believe it or not, every time an English person's born, they have to watch Mary Poppins. The first day of their life. It's just the rule. Otherwise, how are you going to learn good etiquette? Spoonful of sugar helps the Hive Tyrant grow strong. But what's going on around here? We are seeing Victoria Broodlord. So Chopper is now going to go for some more elite kind of commander stuff. We've got the Biovores coming out now. Well, the Biovores, questionable. They'll help you against the warriors. They are elite infantry, but they'll still do a bit of damage to them. Won't do much against the Tyranid Guard. Like I said, they resist the range damage incoming. And the Hellfex Carnifex is... I think they'll be alright. Although then again, in saying that, the unit card does say they're good against vehicles. I'm questionable though. Especially when they're on their own. Yeah, the fire rate isn't exactly impressive. And I imagine being out on their own here, like docile cows, big honey pots on the back, yeah, they're not going to live for very long. They're trying to hobble away. There's some negative health or negative emotions going on here. Not exactly sure what this is. This might be one of the Hive Mind abilities that I'm not aware of, even though I did spend about half an hour before this game researching it. I do apologise. I'm just not a smart man. It's why I work with special need kids, you know, in the IRL space, because I know what it's like to not be able to retain information. I can empathise with them. I know what it's like to not be very smart. And I got tactics to be able to deal with it. But remembering stuff is just not on the cards for me. Fun fact, when I began this channel in earnest, I did have a little book where I wrote down all the abilities of units, and I would flick through the book mid-cast. But I stopped doing that because, well, I just got lazy, man. You know, this whole 1,000 subscriber plus made me lazy, made me complacent. And blooming Symbiote, he's not feeling all that confident at the moment. I'm not sure why, though. He could push forward, but then again, I suppose he's thinking, well, you know, we've killed a lot. They've got the backline now. They've got the warriors. They've got some screamer killers. Let's not over-indulge. Yeah, I do like it, though. Symbiote's going for, like, a really small force. I've seen a lot on the channel in the past maybe month or so. We've seen a fair few players be able to keep a really small unit composition, but do a lot with it, as opposed to going for the mass and then kind of like moving them everywhere. Which, I mean, there's pros and cons for both. You got to bear in mind that in these longer games, I mean, I'm not sure how long this game is, but the longer a game goes on for, the harder this is able to maintain. You do get tired after a while. An RTS is quite an exhausting game to play. I find, anyway, personally. I don't know how you feel, but I often find that whenever I'm playing against a player who knows what they're doing, more than me, which is, let's be honest, is most people, it's hard to really keep that on the go. Oh, you've not had this... You should have probably... This is Symbiote, probably taken over this a lot sooner. Well, economies at the moment, 202 and 126, compared to 302 and 165. So not an incredible difference in economy in Ultimate Apocalypse terms. I mean, 100 rec difference in Vanilla, in Uni, in Pro would be game ending, but in this kind of game, in Ultimate Apocalypse, it's not the be-all and end-all. I'm going to be able to reclaim this stuff. Also will help them push out on the right-hand side as well if they want to go in for any flanking stuff. Lictor Alpha just being a nuisance, doing a lot of scouting, I imagine. Seeing those Biovars. I do like it, though. Much like a real Hive Tyrant, or sorry, a Hive Mind, they see what their opponent is doing, and they basically copy it. Or they adapt, even. That's a lot of Biovars. And they're going to go for the Bioacid Spore Mines, which do damage to Titans and buildings. So, yeah, that's a siege force, if ever I saw one. The Hive Tyrant's got his big anti-you-can't-hurt-me shield going on. He's got these wings as well. Which made me think of the wings, these kind of wings always made me think of, from Soul Reaver, Raziel, before Cain, shatters wings and throws him into that portal. God, that's a blast from the past. Loved Soul Reaver as a kid. Didn't understand a word of what was going on, because 10-year-old me was not a very smart man. But, highly recommend it if you've never played it. I hope they do a remaster of that. Tried to put it on the computer a little while ago, and well, it just doesn't work very well. But then again, I got a bought Steam version. Maybe GOG probably has a better version. Maybe some mods for it to make it more stable. These guys are chilling out over here. Biovore people, you could probably push them a little bit further, but there is actually quite substantial arcane effects over here. And the Biovores now coming back over here. They've gone for a mixture of toxic spore mines and bioacid spore mines, which does stuff, I imagine. Hive Time going to fly in. Slice and dice all the way, I imagine. Oh no, he's going to fly in and then engage in ranged. Fair enough. Well, if it does the job, it does the job. These guys are being pestered and bothered by stuff again. I'm really sorry, I'm not sure what that does. Probably a reduction of damage, maybe. Or reduction of movement. One of those things. The Biovores, they've managed to sort out whatever was going on down here. There's still some more Biovores down over on this side. But not able to really protect their flanks. They've spent a lot of money on the Biovores, but not enough on really protecting them. So the Warriors are able to sneak on forward. Lictor Alpha still on the cards for Topper. Not sure if Lictor Alpha is really doing all that much in this engagement. Although I suppose if you consistently keep on the flanks, while your opponent is focused on the main battle in the centre, if you keep him knocking around... I mean, yeah, actually, to be honest, you can take that Lictor Alpha and move him down over here. They've caused him lots of problems. But he's actually now just continuing to charge into the base. Again, probably see what's going on to make sure that his opponent is doing whatever. But a manipulator Hive, there we go. So that's when you're able to bring down some big booms via the Hive Mind. They are very expensive in the green money department, though. And at the moment, Topper's got quite the big flow of the blue, but not enough green. What's going on for you? You're the exact opposite, more or less, Mr. Symbiote. Arcane Effects regeneration will make Arcane Effects very difficult to kill in the grand scheme of things. Things being blown up from this distance. I've yet to capture this point, though, Mr. Symbiote. You've killed the listening post here, but you've not really reclaimed it. You're leaving blue money on the table there, my friend. But yeah, going for lots of upgrades. Your Siving Talons for extra melee damage as well. Have you now got your whips and chains? No, you haven't. You've just gone. You've still got your regular spiky bits. That's fine. No judgment there. That's a lot. Right, so Topper's thinking no one's going to get into my base and sort me out. That yeah, anyone who comes near you, they're probably going to die very quickly. So it looks like, in all fairness, this game is going to go on for a fair while. Oh, we also have Topper bringing out Hive Spy over on this side. Okay, nice one. Good stuff. Now, Tyranids, outside their buildings, they do have this Toxic Miasma as well as a Synapse. Synapse for Tyranids in this game don't really use it on the people as they go out and about the place. I mean, there's no morale on any of these guys. Not a unification where if you've got a unit that's not got Synapse and they're away from the base, they lose morale and then they can't regain the morale until they regain their Synapse. This game is kind of like more like a buff. Stand near a building, you get a thing, I think. That's what I understand. Oh, we've got negative stuff. A toxic thing being brought down by the... I can't tell exactly which Hive Man's brought this up, but it will slow people down, preventing them from running away. Hive Time has gone down there. God, that's a carpet of Tyranids, isn't it? The mighty Tyranid carpet. One health X just chilling out over on this side, just keeping everyone back. Those Ripper Swarms ain't going to get by him. And it's interesting, we don't normally see a massive Hellfex Carnifexes, but apparently in a Tyranid versus Tyranid match, this is the way forward. Screamer Killer engaging mortal combat with the Hellfex, and yeah, actually the Hellfex is not going to win a straight up 1v1. Look how quickly his health goes down in comparison. Although in saying that, the Hellfex is actually bringing up a fairly decent fight. It's not a complete waste of time, but he won't win it all the same. Victoria Broodlord for Topper. Oh, look at Topper is on the top side. That is so useful. It's been really, really useful for me identifying who's on which side. Screamer Killer's still in there. Very low on health there. Are you just there just to prevent people from coming in? I mean, you don't need to get that killing blow. If you've got your extra Hive Spies, you've got your extra Reclamation Pools, you can just sit at the back. You're going to go for double Capillary Veins. Now, these guys are able to bring in some serious AoE buffs to people. You can massively increase your building regeneration from them, which means that it's very difficult to kill buildings. You can reduce the production time of nearby buildings, so you can just spam out units if you really want to. And I don't know if the buffs stack, but if they do, that's insane. A good amount of warriors, but all really crumpled up together. Ideal targets for these Biovores. And even though in theory this amount could just come down and annihilate everything, they just chill out, standing there, not sure what they're doing. Are they stunned? Are they just... Is it pathing issues? Probably pathing issues in all fairness. Biovores can just wipe them out slowly but surely. Oh no, they're being stopped by the Hellfex Carnifex. They've probably been air moved. Yeah, they've been air moved, so they're focusing on these guys. It's not ideal. Kind of want to maybe take one chunk, move them this way, one chunk, move them that way, just to make sure that those Biovores aren't basically killing all of them in one fell go. Got a green Lictor Alpha Symbiote rolling on out. It's going in the middle. How long they'll survive for, I don't know. But they've had some time to get themselves some armor upgrades, so should be alright for at least a little while, just to keep those guys at bay. But the Biovores continue their work. Look at them scurry backwards. More Carnifex. I've got to get some proper Carnifex now. True blue Carnifexes. Hive Time's back on the field. Gonna fly straight in. Can we join him? Oh, never mind. I was going to join him on his flight, but... Nope, never mind me. And, oh, now we've got some Zonethrups. Right, okay. Zonethrups. Able to reduce the incoming range damage of nearby units. That's quite useful. If your enemy is going for a ranged-based composition, having, even if it's just a couple of Zonethrups in the middle of everything, is quite useful. And if you get a Neuronthrup as well, stick them in there. That not only reduces the incoming range damage, but also increase the maximum range damage that you do to other people. So a healthy combination of those two is quite useful. That's why you normally see a Zonethrup ball. That's why it's so difficult to take on, you see. Because if you've got a Zonethrup ball, all those guys giving each other buffs for decreasing incoming range damage. Not necessarily the amount of damage they can output, it's the amount of damage that they can take. Like Rocky Balboa. It's not all about the punches you can give, it's about the punches you can take while still getting back up. That's the Hive Tyrant way. But yeah, it just seems like a slow but sure Topper expansion. He's over here expanding. He's got the boys round this side. Now, got to bear in mind as well that these capillary veins also give you extra blue money as well. So, doesn't necessarily mean that if you're cornered into a corner, because that's where else you could be cornered, doesn't mean that you're going to have no income going. You can build up those, what do we call them, those capillary veins. See a Bioacid Hive Node over here. Very strong turret, as you can tell, compared to this little diddy thing and the big Chad Hive Node. And it's looking very grim for Symbiote, looking very grim indeed. It's not got much going for him at the moment. Going to take a lion's effort to break up, though he does have these proper Carnifexes there. And he does have this small Zonethrup ball, so that might change the direction of the battle for him. Just need to start moving these guys towards killing these guys. But then again, the Hive Tyrant is not someone to trifle with. I mean, he could just basically walk into most situations. As long as he's properly supported, and he is supported by some Zonethrups and some Biovores, he should be able to really take on all this stuff by himself with that firing support. should really make sure this Bioacid Hive node doesn't go up there. Once that goes up, there's going to be some serious damage incoming for him. Victoria Broodlord from Symbiote as well. Throwing some hands about the place. Got lots of hands to throw. And this Carnifex... Sorry, oh, that's Symbiote's Carnifex, never mind me. They're different colours, but it's green and black versus grey and black. It's quite hard for me to see, really. But quite masterfully, Symbiote has defended this side of the map with just a massive zone thrups, which is, we've seen it on the channel many times before. Don't really get anything scarier than the zone thrup ball. Now, probably in the back of your mind, you're thinking, hey, well, don't worry, the Swarm Lords, they're going to be a thing. We've seen on the channel as well that Swarm Lord comes out with about 15 million health, infinite regeneration. Quite difficult to take care of him. But both teams have access to a Swarm Lord. So we might see Swarm Lord and Swarm Lord action here. I mean, we are going towards that. We don't normally see this level of tech in a 1 vs 1 game, but capillary veins out the wazoo. Is that a bigger capillary vein? Not judging your size, but... Oh, look, multiples. Oh, no, you're being built. Right, okay, that's why you're smaller. It's cold outside, boys. It's cold outside. Now, how are you going to defend against this? Oh, it's the Bioacid turrets, yes. And a small zone thrup ball of your own, yes. Oh, and some flanking Screamer Killers. Yes, there we go. Breaking the morale of these zone thrups. Now, zone thrups don't necessarily have morale in the sense that once it's broken, they do no damage. Their morale is essentially an energy shield. They don't take any damage until all this is reduced, from what I understand. So it's like additional health, really. Hive Town's been blasted away from all this firepower. And yeah, it's just a zone thrup wars here. Just baleful green energies flowing around everywhere. I don't know if... have you seen these guys? Yeah, you've seen these, but you have not seen the Hive Spire, because that would be your ideal target, killing this stuff and killing all this. Tunnel Warrens, potential for big relic units from Topper. They could go for... Oh, I completely forget what they're called. Get Tervagons for spawning random small dudes around everywhere. You've got your blooming Trigon who could tunnel everywhere. Not seeing use of tunnels over here. Oh, and Uberfex as well. Easier. But who are you fighting? Oh, just Topper Screamer Killer Carnifex over here. Oh, I just love the way that Tyranids look in a silhouette kind of scenario. Yeah, Uberfex, believe it or not, is just basically a bigger Carnifex. Not sure if it's low accurate. I don't know if the Uberfex is called Uberfex on the tabletop. I have been working on an article I've been updating periodically for a website called Age of Miniatures. If you're not aware, I do write for a website called Age of Miniatures, where I write for the Warhammer 40k section. And I've been updating all their stuff for the 10th edition for each faction. I've just finished the Imperial factions and the Chaos factions. I'm now about to begin the Xenos factions. So, if you're interested, ageofminiatures.com, have a look at that. Type that into I won't put a link in the description. You know how to type, don't you? But... yeah, I've not really had a chance to look at the Xenos factions for 10th edition at the moment. But again, like I said, I'm not sure if Uberfex is the real thing. That's fine, it's okay. It's still cool, I guess. Just look at the size of that boy. Mighty plates of chitin, or chitin, however one wants to pronounce that. That's a scary zone thrup ball. Topper, he's committed. And a couple of volleys. But it's going to take more than a couple of volleys to take care of Uberfex. So while Zone Thrup Ball is amazing at killing most things, if it ever comes across something it can't kill, well then that's it. You've lost your entire army. So it's basically putting all your eggs in one basket. So while, yes, it might appear that it is quite overpowered, if you know how to kill a ball, then you're all right. You're fine. And it's basically a waste of energy from them. One Carnifex getting involved, Smargy Bargy. That amount of green, though, it's just redonkulous. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, they're also a little bit fragile as well once you get past their blooming... to be fair, I think they could be done with being made a little bit more fragile in all fairness. They are elite heavy infantry. So I don't know if the Zone Thrup is meant to be that tanky in the armour scenario. Effect's about to get crumped there. Taking a lot of damage to the face, but he's done exactly what he's meant to. He's tanked all the damage, and the zone football is a lot smaller than it used to be. Also, Biovor's been given a chance to throw some stuff down. What's firing at you? Oh, it's just constant. Blooming Spore Mine's been sent in. Fair enough. All sorts going on. Tunnel Warren down for these guys. Got Planetary Simulation, so tier 4/5. Not sure what tier you're on, Mr. Topper. Current economy is 271 and 207. Well, the Southern Tyranids compared to 390 and 310 for the Northern Tyranids. The Northern Tyranids still got the economic advantage, but not spending their money nearly as wisely as Symbiote here. Again, they're going for like more of the mass, I imagine. Mass and also expansion. But they've got a good force going on down this side. And currently no one's really defending their base, but we are now seeing actually Symbiote bringing the zone troops over onto this side. And this is a lot less defensible than the base at home, than up here. I mean, what, you've got 2 entry points above, very small areas to go into. Here it's a much wider entry point. The Screamers are very quick in comparison to fully qualified Carnifexes. So they might be able to do the job, but they're also a lot less armoured. I mean, what, Carnifex heavily armoured, and then Screamer Killer's just a regular armoured Carnifex. They're holding them back, but for how long, that's the question. Are you building up anything significant? Not really. Well, can we down on this side there? And, oh god, my frame rate, be still. I'll zoom in a little bit just to make it less obnoxious. Why are you? Spine Gaunts without number, yes sir. Topper has basically summoned these guys from the Hive Mind. You only get these Spine Gaunts through the Hive Mind. It's basically summon them inside the base. They won't be killing these Sunfolks anytime soon, but they're at least keeping them at bay for the moment while these guys go to work. It'll take them a while, but they'll get through all these structures, I imagine, unless they've been stopped. This zone football's looking a little bit less impressive now, but there's still quite a fair few of them. Trying to focus on the bioplasma turrets. What an insane game so far. Absolutely mental. You do, like I say, you don't normally see this in a 1v1 situation. But both players really showing what it's all about here. Just a sheer amount of green, all the particle effects. We've still got the Hive Tyrant for Symbiote here. Whether it's a fresh one, I'm not entirely sure. I imagine it's a fresh one. He's going to bring all his zone folks away from taking on this. Managed to kill a fair few bioplasma turrets, but not quite being able to take them on. Although, once he's sorted out this zone folk presence down here, he should be able to go back over and sort them out. Hive Tyrant not deeming worthy to fly in. He's going to walk straight in. Give him the old slap and tickle. He's now gone for all claws. 4 claws on the doors, baby. Some fully qualified Carnifexes coming out. Tier 4/5, 80% done. It's so slow to upgrade. But, I mean, it does seem that Simba's got the superior firepower going on. So these northern zone folks will have to go back home. But Topper's still keeping up that map control. Even though he's not quite able to really break through them. He's doing alright. That's a conga line right there. I know the other day we talked about a conga line of... No, what was it? Chaos Dreadnought and Spaceman Dreadnoughts. That was quite significant. Like a walking spooning. We know what's about spooning. It always leads to forking. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how these guys are going to... I mean, they might be able to kill a couple of these guys before they get to them, but I don't know if they'll be able to kill all of them. That being said, if they're spread out like this, rather than a ball, but more spread out, should take the Screamer Killers a lot more problem, or a lot more distance to cover to get them. They're also being tied up by Symbiote's Carnifexes here. These guys are holding back. Going to focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, Screamers are probably not armoured enough to be able to take these guys on. I mean, I think you've got the right idea there, Topper, to be honest. Spine Gaunts without number, or just deep striking any kind of units in the middle of these guys, just to time up just for a little bit. And if you time up for even if it's on like 10 seconds, it still gives these guys like what, like, I mean, volleys they do per second, like what, like 1, 2 a second? Oh, sorry, 1 every 1 or 2 seconds. So like, they'll give you a 10 volley advantage if you just deep strike random bullshit in the back lines. Can be done. I mean, do you have vision? You do have vision, yes. You could just deep strike some people either. If you can't do it out the back, but either on the sides. Awesome to keep moving. We do have a mighty hide nerve there. Bringing out the big booms. Ewan Ferp over on this side as well. We've got any big units coming out at the moment. No, but we do have plenty of capillary veins. That's where he's getting most of his economy from here. His economy seems quite pretty, although there's been a lot of blue money having to constantly replace forces that he's lost. Over here it's just a hodgepodge of spine gaunts without number versus just the regular spine gaunts. Spine gaunts without number do a little bit more damage. Maybe not the most remarkable battle ever going on. Constant spore mine's been sent in by Chopper as well. Maybe that's where his money's going. Actually, oh, I see why they've come back over here, because there was some baddies in his base. Fair enough. Oh, he's also throwing in some... Ah, right, that was not their nuke ability. The nuke looks kind of similar, but that was the biggest hive mind ability they can use. Basically, it's just a small meteor shower. Here comes the Trigon, trying his best. Look at the way his hips shake when he moves. Powerful hips. Oh, not quite like that. Throwing him in the air and giving him a munch. But yeah, that guy just struts. That guy walks around like he owns the place. Uses walk like a woman's man. He's got no time to talk. Insert the rest of the lyrics here. Here comes the conga line. Screamer killers. There's a capillary vein. That's instantly eaten. Oh dear, that is just dangerous levels of damage. You can't exactly get through the regular count effects all that well. In fact, that's actually... Was that 4 Screamer Killers versus 1 Killer count effects? Or just 1 regular count effect, sorry? Mighty is the armor. They may as well just ignore this dude, just focus on killing all the buildings. Even level 3 Spore Chimney is struggling to stay alive against them. Yeah, they could have got that if they just ignored that regular count effects there. And a never-ending stream of Spore Mines. What's been fired from you? Oh, it's you guys. It's you guys again. Wiping out that Spore Chimney. Oh my goodness. Put your sunglasses on, boys and girls. It's brightness. It's rightness. And oh, very nice. Just throwing down all the abilities on top of these zone thrupps. You're setting them all on fire via the hive mind. Comet throwing mischief. Although they seem pretty healthy, all things considered. But I suppose they do have a reduced range damage bonus to them. I've told you're doing stuff. I'll zoom in a little bit to avoid the screens going. These guys are just having a bit of a mosh pit. Kind of giving each other a little pecks on the cheek. Oh dear, that's it's strange how now, even though these are count effects, they've got this swarm kind of vibe going on. It's like as if we've moved away from Termagants to Spine Gaunts and stuff, and now it's just the Screamer Swarm. Oh, I like that. Screamer Swarm. A little bit of alliteration for you. Cheapest writing trick, but does the job. Trigon's in there. The silhouette of black. Slicing and dicing away. He'll hold them off for a bit. Especially with all this thing, but yeah. Now these guys need to turn around right away and sort these guys out, because they're going to lose their building. Quick, sharp. He's trying to go for another Trigon. My goodness, it's like Prince of Egypt. There's a locust swarm coming in. He send the swarm, he send the horde, thus saith the Lord. Right, I'm going to avoid breaking out into song there, because that film has got the best soundtrack known to man. With the exception of the Transformers animated film from the 80s. But, you know, that whole thus say the Lord, the plague song from Prince of Egypt is just totally fire, as the kids would say. These guys, they're targeting the wrong things. Although then again, I mean, if they leave these guys alone, not sure. Who's on your team? It's hard to tell It's just dust and fire going everywhere. But if Symbiote loses his Hive Spire here, he's basically lost the game. If you lose your main HQ that you've done all the upgrades with, you then basically got to start from tier 1, well, 0/1, all over again. He's got to save it. There's so many Screamer Killers, and he's not sending the Ripper Swarms into repair. But it looks like just in the nick of time, Zonefrop's come along, and they saved the day. That was a, as they say in football, that was a squeaky bum time. Very scary indeed. Almost losing the game there. And to be fair, he's been holding off for a very long time. Done amazing stuff with the amount of stuff he's had, but just to the sheer amount of economy of these guys, I mean, look at that. That is quite literally just terraforming the entire planet, isn't it? All those capillary veins on the go. More Hive Spires than you know what to do with. Building, yeah, just expanding everywhere. I can tell where the action's been going on. There's a couple of dead people over here, but down here, around Symbiote Space, that's where all the dead and dying are. But you would see a lot more Carnifex corpses, but the vehicles don't leave their corpses behind, sadly. Victoria Brewlord on his own. And yeah, he's just got free Spore Mine money all day long. Second wave of Screamer Killers coming in. And this base is being repaired, thankfully. So I found it harder to get through. But what Symbiote absolutely needs to do is reclaim these strategic points. I mean, what is it? 548 and 414 compared to 139 and 178. Plenty of float to play with. But there's a reason why Topper has infinite Screamers coming in. And these guards are kind of waxing and waning with their troops at the moment. There we go. Ignore the Hive Spire for now. And focus primarily on just eating as reclamation pools. Absolutely terrifying stuff. No more green money for you, young man. Still got a fair bit though. Can always rebuild, but just chipping away. Well, I do like this kind of match. It's certainly thematical. From what I understand, if two Hive fleets meet each other in the wild, they will fight each other just to assimilate each other's biomass, learn from each other, become stronger. That's kind of what we're seeing here. Both adapting to each other's strategies, but one has now got a strategy that the other one cannot replicate, which is the Screamer Bombardment, Screamer Conga Line. What a fantastic match has been so far. Symbiote still going for it though. Still going for those flanking maneuvers with the Carnifexes on the Hive Tyrant. Absorbing a lot of the incoming damage. So what's your plan, Mr. Symbiote? He's going to start building... I think, yeah, building your own massive bioplasma turrets is probably the way forward at this point. Going to rebuild those Carnifex chambers as well. Zonefrop's population's been maxed out. Yeah, okay, so your population's been maxed out. It's time to... Oh, well, that's why he's rebuilding his Carnifex chambers. To then spend his money on vehicles and stuff. That makes sense. God, they're just constantly coming in. Not able to really build up that much of a defense before the second wave comes forward. Lord of mercy. Go on, get him. Hold the line. But no, there's just too many of them, isn't there? Now I'm going to focus on that brood hive. Making sure that nothing substantial comes out from there. Reclamation pools attempt to be rebuilt. We are seeing some poison being brought down from the hive mind abilities. Not really doing much for them. Carnifex chambers have been finished. Also the tunnel warrens coming forward. He's got some money to build some more Trigons. Maybe Trigons are going to do it for him. Yeah, Trigon. Oh, well, sorry. We'll call it Trigon warrens there, but that's not what they're called. Double Carnifexes. The infinite screamer. Okay, right, so he's now adapting. Symbiote is now thinking, right, okay, well, if it works for you, I'm going to do exactly the same. Oh, no, never mind. He's not quite exactly going for it. But yeah, I suppose, like, if you spend too much money, then you won't be able to buy him. A Trigon on the way. It's going to be difficult to pull it back. It's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible. I mean, at the moment, Chopper is on his way to planetary simulation, which he could have done a lot earlier. He could have been on nuclear territory at the moment. Or even Broodlord money at the moment, but he's been... You know, it's not really teched up that hardcore. He's been spending a lot of his money on these constant waves, trying to get that killing blur, but he's not quite been able to get that killing blur. So actually, maybe that lack of teching up might be the window a Symbiote needs to get back into the game. We've seen crazier things on the channel before, and if he can do it, it's an underdog story of a lifetime. Holding back Screamer Killer Chaff with a staunch line of Carnifexes. These guys coming around the side. Zonfup's going to fall back a little bit, just to focus on these guys, I imagine, before turning around over here. Spangot's been summoned in by Topper via the Hive Mind. Do have the Hive Town over here. He's a bit low on health at the moment. Trigon coming in the way. Capillary Vein also coming forth. Yeah, if he's able to get that up and then get the production time reduction upgrade, that will help him a lot with getting things up, but he has not got the money to really spam things out anymore. He's now going to be very tactical about what he buys. And he can't exactly throw units away now. But then again, the Capillary Vein will also give him extra economy as well, so that might fix it for him. Trigon now out. Going in for that flanking maneuver. Yeah, that Trigon should be able to take on all of this stuff. These guys should be able to focus on what's going on over here. Spangot's running forward. Swap them to melee, young man. Tie these guys. Oh no, never mind. They're dead. Instant death. The worst kind of death. What's firing at you guys? Oh, never mind. Ignore me. Yeah, what is firing at you? Oh, it's these zone foes are going on a mission. Fair enough. God, what a competent defense there. Really just making Topper really pay for every inch that he's taking. At the moment, isn't many inches at all, which is not really what you want to hear at any stage of your life. Look, you're just slapping down reclamation balls as and where you can. Really got to retake, at the very least, these places, but oh my goodness, just as he's about to reclaim some sensibility in his base, another wave of Screamers come in. These Sunflips just have no chill. This one's even engaging in melee. Hey, it's fine. You know what? I'm bored of all this brain thinking. I'm going to give him the old stabbers now. Not very effective for a zone threat, but, you know. Can't blame a man for trying to do different things with his life. Eventually, we all get bored of the humdrum, mundane lifestyle. We all need a bit of change every now and then. Zone threats. Oh, yeah, they're all engaging in melee now for whatever reason. Does this mean are you throwing them away for whatever reason? Oh, you've maxed out on all things. So have you got a special plan? Is that the question? Nope, just gonna build more zone threats. Fair enough. Throwing them away to rebuild over here. Now, how are you doing for your teching up? You are now in tier 4/5. You haven't got any capillary towers at the moment. Capillary towers are where they will get their epic endgame nuke stuff, but it doesn't seem as going for that nuke. I think he wants to beat him honourably. Without nukes, just man to man, bug to bug, Xenos to Xenos. Which is admirable. I like it. Can he win? Absolutely. But is he going to give Symbiote a chance to claw his way back? Got to admire him for the honourable plays. I wouldn't do it personally. And because it's the chance of me winning any game are so slim that if I ever get a chance to win, I'll take it. But this Trigon is just being absolutely pummeled by all these zone flips over here. It's not really buying these guys any space, although they are actually going to go over on this side. And if they can actually take care of the production... Oh, here comes the capillary tower being built. Now we're going to go for that construct super weapon. Now, Tyranids, they've got two main big boobs. Where my brain go then? Big, boomy, endgame abilities. Oh no. Tyranids with boobs. Don't even think about it. Tyranid milk should never be thought about. Now, big, boomy, endgame weaponries. So they've got basically the nuke, which basically brings a load of meteors and then spawns a bunch of capillary towers. And then they also have an ability which basically makes all their units free. So whichever one Topper wants to go for, that's what he's going to go for. Because obviously that's what he's going to do. But these guys are going to try their best at killing all this stuff. While that's going on there, these guys are going to think, right, okay, we'll open base. Just walk in. Got Trigon over here, though. I'll be able to defend some stuff. Oh, God, they're just... It's just never ending. But I suppose that's what the Tyranids are all about. That's what Tyranids are all about, baby. So what do you go for? Do you try and stop the Screamers from eating your resources? Do you try and stop the Zone folks from exploding your HQ? It's a lose-lose situation. We are seeing some more Spangles now being summoned in. Manipulate Hive is next thing to go down by these hungry beasts. And just death and destruction on all sides. These guys are a bit slow to react. Could have come down a bit sooner, but then again, at this stage, it seems that even the slim sliver of hope... Oh, where are you going, Mr. Zonethrope? I didn't see you. Yeah, he's going to hold it. It's fading off into the sea. The hell, was that just a Trigon just making a bygone? I'm sorry, I made that joke way too often. I do apologise. I'm not very original. What was I saying? I can't remember. That distracted me. Damn my lack of attention span and working memory. Okay, alright, fair enough. People are just dying. Everything's dying here. A very good effort there. Hive Tyrant, he's chilling out. Oh no, he wasn't chilling out. He's still stabbing people, as is proper for Hive Tyrant to do things. Carnifex chambers are being eaten. Manipulation Hive, I thought they were going to eat that, but they've ignored it. Just going to go for these Carnifex chambers. Take out production. Won't be able to build anymore. Well, can you build anymore? You can still build things. But, yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing any Tyranid super weapons. Might do, actually. There's potential. 80%. Depends how long it takes them to eat these things. But yeah, so it seems to me that while Symbiote had some really excellent plays, I think it was kind of, with his unit compositions, he was kind of dictating the play of the games, but, I mean, Topper just getting that economy up, playing like a true Tyranid, essentially just cultivating this side of the map. Oh, we're getting some counterplay here, some counter charges. Yeah, essentially he thought, right, I'm a Tyranid. What do Tyranids do? We terraform. And once I've terraformed this entire section of the base, on the map even, then I've got infinite money. Then just keep on sending things in. I don't have to win on the first push. Don't have to win on the second push. But on the 20th or 21st push, I'll eventually win by sheer mass of bodies, which is very Tyranid-esque. But no surrender from Symbiote here. He's going to go until the last bit of biomass in him fails. Nothing's been built over... Oh, for a second it looks on the map as the ocean. I thought these guys were just expanding from land into the sea. Now that's a scary thing. Tyranid marine life. Oh, there must be a horror film in there somewhere. Jaws, but with Tyranids. Oh, that'd make a really excellent mod for Subnautica. If they just did Tyranid-infested underwater horror. You know what? That's a free idea. Take that. I'll be lead developer if you want me to. I've got no idea how to make mods or video games, but I will happily sit on the chair of that board. That would be an excellent game to play. Games Workshop, if you're watching, please don't sue me for doing this. For taking your intellectual property, making them into a better horror game, but someone's going to do it, gosh darn it. Someone's got to do it. Hive Tyrant still just being an absolute hero. He's got... Have you got your whips and chains now? I can't tell. I really can't tell. But he's got something going on. He's doing his best. Really, what else can you ask of him to do? Take him on, Sunshine, as he's being shot by everyone. And he's down. Down for the count. Oh, oh no. Oh, good lord. See me bringing out double... well, not double deep-stricken dudes, but no. They get killed instantly the moment they're spawned. And that is that. No GGs for anyone. Oh, because... Death. Death happened. We missed the nuke. I do apologise. There was a nuke going on, but I wanted to see the Hive Tyrant fight, because that was interesting for me. But hey, oh, okay. What a fantastic game. Thank you very much, Symbiote, for sending that game in. That was amazing to watch all the way through from start to finish. Nuts to butts, balls to walls action. Fantastic stuff. Alright, well, if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one extra game a week. And there is also a Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description, as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.